for Hydlide. It's actually the best Hydlide game, which is a low bar somewhere in a sewer. I call it my favorite 12-bit game.
Супер Hydlide. А сейчас у нас идет выбор имени. На него был донат. Это будет что-то связанное с Dio.
Looks like it's me, Dio. Alright, so is it capital I then lowercase t-s? Yes. Okay, capital and then M, capital M? E. Mm-hmm. Okay, I know the alphabet.
It is Dio.
So M is the one next to N. And then is Dio all caps? It's just Dio. D capital and then I. Alright, so lowercase. Okay. Okay. There it is.
It was I.
It's okay. There we go. So we are gonna roll a bit for 14 health. This is actually really important. Even though the monk has the lowest health, we actually need as high health as we can get for this run, especially for the initial grind. And we're gonna start off with a song once I start, and we are going to start.
Выбираем класс монк, потому что у него одна из самых больших показателей. Статов само по себе, да еще у него хорошая харизма, и он в общем хорош для спидрана.
And it's really kind of a chore, but this is the fastest way to get to that level 4. And you need to do this 24 times, and I'm already starting to lose count, but I'd rather sing this song. Oh, it's awful block. I guess it's kind of fun, even though that's forbidden by Game Done Quick, and I am staff and supposed to enforce no fun. We're throwing the coins. Actually, not really, because I'm not losing them somehow. I guess I have a fishing line that I use to pick the coin up, and every time it says we're lucky, we get 30 XP. We need 700. And I think, okay, we need 3 more.
What is going on?
This is the fastest way to grind. I'm not even joking.
You wanted me to be a part of this.
I wanted your reactions, and you're doing beautifully. Okay, so now we're going to level up. We're going to hope for good health RNG. Oh, that's really good.
Yay.
Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, we're fine. I was just afraid. So you can have anywhere from 20
Все, мы
to 50
вахнулись левел,
health RNG,
4.
and I got the average, which is 35, which is perfectly fine.
Теперь мы мега бешеные, дикие, скоростные. У нас есть много денег. Покупаем армор.
And there we go. We have the rest of food. And as you might know, we're going really fast. On fastest settings, because this is a good speed game, because you can set it to fastest, you actually step... Each step is 2 frames, and we're equipping the dagger.
Из-за того, что мы нарыбачили слишком много, у нас в начале игры слишком огромные статы. Мы всех будем ваншотать. Нас нельзя будет пробить. Мы просто подходим, ударяем и идем дальше.
Hot Jams, ugly graphics.
Yeah, exactly. So,
А скорость персонажа зависит от его статов. А у нас статы слишком перекачаны, поэтому мы просто бешеные.
I'm going to donate $10. Even if you, so I like people to get along with this. Even if you only donate $1 for this, you'll donate at least $30 or $40 because as I like to say, if you don't have at least 25 or 30 butt clenching moments or heart attack inducing moments in a super Hydlide run, it's not a real super Hydlide run. And let's see. So we are going to get the talisman, which we need to get because we are going to sell it for a lot of money. And it basically solves all of our money problems in the game. Yeah, exactly. Woo! 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 And we got talisman.
О, сундучок.
And even though we're zooming the fastest, we're going to set it to
нам
fast.
не нужен.
I'm
Идем
sorry,
дальше.
we don't have all the fast. We only have some of the fasts. And that's because on fast... Oh! The game just demonstrated... Oh, that's 2. Oh, no.
Ой-ой.
Count that one. Okay, but...
Даже при том, что у нас огромные статы, мы все равно получаем урон. И достаточно много.
Because I don't have the Stone of Warrior yet. Our fight. Okay. Because the Stone of Warrior gives me auto fire, which alone triples my DPS and also gives me an attack point increase.
Мы несколько ударов получили, и наша скорость упала.
That vampire mostly ignored me. There are good monsters and bad monsters. Don't worry.
От чего это зависит? Непонятно, от чего это зависит.
Oh, dark guys.
Вроде у нас много ловкости, чтобы бегать, но при этом и здоровье влияет на то, как мы бегаем.
Enemies can be one tile off screen and you can't see them, but they can still hit you.
Why?
Because super Hydlide, Gizaron. Because super Hydlide.
How are you so like calm some of these times? Like every single time was a butt clench moment for me.
So there's a very funny way the damage formula works in this game, which you might as well get into now. So it works pretty normally at first. It's the enemy's attack power times your defense power invert on 8-bit integer. So for example, if you have 0 armor, it's 255 and so forth. And then it's divided by 16. However, if you get hit down to 10 health or less, I'm going to set the speed to slow, because if I don't, this boss will actually be impossible. It is actually, ironically, faster to set the speed to slow at times.
Game's done slow.
And we're going to fight Hexsmoke. Oh, please, Hexsmoke.
Скорость даже меняется так.
But all it
Что-то не заметил, когда.
is tease and berate. Oh, yeah, see. So, Hexsmoke is incredibly random. See, ignore the name. It's actually Hexsmoke, because we're PG. And the Tools Disputer, the Axeman, actually told me how this works. Where it spawns is random, when it turns is random, and when it turns is random. I'm getting really terrible.
Бог таймингов.
As you can see. So this game has
Тут можно все 200 этажей пройти.
If you are actually outside for too long,
не проходила бы ты их сам.
So little attack power, you can't actually kill a single enemy.
И шанс, что ты их пройдешь, равен 0.
Wow, this is amazingly bad RNG. Also, I'm playing it really safe because I don't want to fall off, because you see all that blue sky. I'm on the top of a 199 floor tower. Yeah, I kind of fall to my death there. Oh, that's actually
боссов, мобы в первом думе. Летающие крокодилы. Вот это только не красный.
Of course.
Living up to his name.
Exactly. What the heck in smoke? No! Oh. So those ting-ting-tings are the boss dodging.
Ой.
I'm at level 4.
Одного удара не хватило.
Leveled for this. Okay, we're gonna take this really carefully. Nice. Okay. We beat the first boss. There's only 4 in this game. And now we have a cloud stone, so we won't fall to our deaths. If we fall, we'll just slowly float down, because we're Hydlide.
Right.
And we are going to go to 198th floor, and then we're going to save. So we're going to do our first grind in the game, and you have time for a quick donation, Patty.
You got it. We have a $40
На 4-м этаже есть облаки, на которых можно проходить. Вот мы ушли.
Husband taking care of Justin, who broke his hip. He was going to do commentary for this game, but unfortunately he cannot. So
now you're stuck with me.
Exactly.
Well, he made sure to show up for Awful Block anyway, in a ways. He says, Prosentia here. Husband broke his hip, so I couldn't come this year. To be fair, Super Hydlide runner hasn't even gotten a sub 35. So whatevs. Thank you all for your donations, viewers. With every bad game on GDQ, an angel grows its wings. Not a particularly attractive angel, the Steve Buscemi of angels.
Thank you, thank you.
Love you, bro.
Hello, fellow angels. Thanks, Prosentia.
So, I'm getting the Stone of Warrior.
Сейчас Райнер продает все свои ненужные вещи и покупает хилок. Много хилок.
Which heals your health. Once you go down to 0, it'll heal back up to 20. And speaking of Prosentia, he doesn't even have a sub-hour time. So I do have a little bit of another donation drive. If someone wants to donate the date of this game's release, 1990, they can make Prosentia do the sub-hour. I did talk to him about this. He is totally okay with it. So if you want to...
А возможно, как-то сделано? Есть данж на 200 этажей. Но проактивно можно только 5. Это предположение. Да, мы можем мобов бить через стену. И получать урон можем тоже через стены.
So this is the first grind. We want Dark Eyes and Vampires because they give the most experience, but really you just want a lot of enemies to spawn. So interesting note about the Monk and the Priest actually get a 50% experience bonus before you're level 5, which is why I get up to level 4 and not level 5, so I can retain this experience bonus for the first grind. It's also worth noting that they only need half experience for the spells. Oh, geez. The butt clench is real.
Mike, stop.
Mike, please.
Oh, it's not gonna stop.
Mike!
No, this is so hard. You have no idea.
The life bar is supposed to be red, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, and it's worth noting that the only save points are whenever I sleep at an inn. So, you know,
Какая же это отличная
unlike
игра.
Animorphs, I can't bail myself out with the password.
I
Он
still
просто стоит на мехе в фарме.
I mean, I'm banned anyways, you know.
Oh no. Okay. We're good.
Oh, Mike, you
Об
didn't
этой
finish
игре
talking
нет
about
информации.
how the life works.
Она как
Oh,
бы есть, но ее
yeah,
нету.
so, it works
Этой
pretty
игры не
normally,
существует.
you know,
Это все
but
твои
once you get a hit
фантазии.
that takes you down to 10 health or below, even that hit kills you,
Вот
you
то,
go
что
down
ты
to
сейчас
10
видишь, этого
health.
нету.
After that, it just halves until you die. So it's 10, 5, 2, 1, and then you die. So I know how I'm getting mauled, and I know how it works, but I'm still getting mauled a lot, and the butt clench is still real, and you're still gonna probably experience a near heart attack or two. So you gotta have a strong heart, low blood pressure for this game, you know, stay hydrated, be healthy.
Still better than Hydlide on the
Это
Yes,
все твои плохие
still better than
воспоминания.
virtual highlight. This game is actually 60
Они
frames
все
per
тут.
second.
Yeah.
Woo, frames!
Это,
Yeah!
а
You
ее не
can't really
существует.
notice it because it's actually,
Это твой плохой сон.
you know,
Проснись.
like 2 or 3 frames of animation.
Ты в
but
Скайриме.
it is- I'm not lying. Oh, hello.
Oh,
Spicy. Oh no.
I don't know though. Super Hydlide, like, I mean, virtual Hydlide, it's easier to save the frames when there's only like 8 of them.
Yeah.
You know.
This is true. There's
Всё,
no frame
пофармили,
perfection
хватит,
in
идем
this game
обратно.
because you just go all over the place. So it's evening. That's why it's yellow. No other reason why it would be yellow. And we're actually going back to the first town because that's the only place where you can level up. You need to level up in temples, and it's also a place where you get the first tier of spells, which is very important for the speedrun. Spells are very, very good in this game. We will get the illusion spell, which is useful especially for the final dungeon. The antidote spell is actually not used very much in the run, and spells cost experience, which is why I have to do that grind. Time spell is useful for some shopping. Cure spell is useful so you don't die. Learn spell is useful for disarming chests, and the move spell is very useful because it lets you teleport between towns. The only condition is, aside from this town, the first town, you have to sleep in the town. So, everyone, should I save 10 seconds, or should I take it safe?
Save.
Oh, let's do it. So just FYI, if I
Да ладно, что
die
такое?
here,
Тут еще и
I
время меняется.
actually lose about 4 minutes. But it shouldn't be a problem. It'll be
problem.
yeah.
You got this.
So the reason why this is a slight risk is because once it gets to 2,300 hours, as I said before, you get sleepy. This game is a very real game. The reason why I'm collecting the rations of food is because if you don't have rations of food every 6 hours, you start to die. The game just slowly starves you to death. When you play this game for the first time, it's actually not uncommon to die in the first town because you have no idea that you need the rations of food to live.
Вот мы вроде тут были, но мы идем дальше фармить.
Yeah, this game is
Нам
a
нужно
very
больше
real game.
статов,
In
нам
fact,
нужно
if
больше
you
денег.
wanna read the back of the
Фарме.
box, you don't have to read the entire story, just the bullet points in the back, so you know about what this game is all about.
Oh, this is lovely. All right, so this game provides such things as unique combination of action
okay,
and
this
role
is
playing,
interesting.
butt clenching moments. Clearly, what is going on, Mike?
That's the illusion spell. It makes everyone do ballet, and more importantly, makes them turn away from you. Okay, please get away from me. Please get away from me. Please get away from me.
Right.
So we save the 10 seconds to lose 20 seconds dodging. Good trade-off. Okay, we're safe.
There's characters graphic change with equipment.
It's true.
Okay. Realistic physics of time and weight.
You're seeing it right now. I have to sleep. If I don't sleep, I can't kill any enemies.
Specially created music and stereo sound. What?
Exactly.
And
And the
versus
hot
mono. That's
jams.
upsetting.
Please get out. Oh, jeez.
You know the best thing about that is that like only one model of Genesis has stereo sound, and that's only in the headphone jack.
Of course.
Вот это
But it is
перемещение.
technically correct. You can have stereo sound.
So we're collecting the silver sword. It's important to get the best weapon in the game, which is coming up after I do this dungeon. And got the funkiest tune in the game.
Кто придумал эту игру?
And
Пожалуйста,
that's all you'll
объявись.
hear. Because I'm not really in the overworld. That's it. Sorry.
Oh.
It's a good tune. I love this game's soundtrack. Yeah, I agree. Boo me. Thank you. And just like the game said, it's going to be a great day in the world of Fairyland, which is the world of Hydlide. So we're going through a secret passage to sneak by this warehouse. In fact, you better get out. Don't worry, we'll do that. Okay, so we're checking this treasure chest. Seem to be no traps. Treasure chest, there's nothing. Okay.
Тут нет объяснения, ты просто смотри.
My hand. Traps.
Если ты что-то
Treasure chest, there's nothing.
поймешь, ты молодец.
Check again, the treasure chest is a false bomb. They were steering down to the caves. So you actually have to check that treasure chest twice. That's the only way you can get into this dungeon. And by the way, you're supposed to have a lamp here. It's all okay. Don't worry about it. The lamp gives you one.
Вот игра, которая была до этого, я не хоть что-то понял. Тут мы входим в темноте, идем яйца.
Okay, I need to actually be really careful on magic use here because I need at least 45 MP to both disarm the chest and use the move spell to warp out of here.
This music
And
pops.
exactly, this is the best song in the game. It's called Dragon. And speaking of that, we're gonna fight a dragon with 2 exclamation points.
In the dark.
Is this it? Is this the path? Did I mess up? Okay, now I'm a little. Okay, is happening during? Okay, no, I'm fine. I'm fine. I just got a little confused. Oh, the game is unconfusing me. Okay.
Mike, I'm scared.
I'm scared. All right, and let's see if we have the life water attached, and we're good. We're gonna fight a dragon.
Woo! Woo!
So the dragon's actually pretty tough because you have to basally point blank it in the head like that.
Oh,
we didn't
дракон.
get it in time, but that's fine. Oh, you're not supposed to bump in the head like that. All right, we're good.
Вот нужно было на ГТК наших вангеров подавать. Было также ничего не понятно, но очень интересно.
HD monitors and in SCART quality, I'm like, wow, I can really see all the pixels and amazing, pixel art and the great colors. In this game, I was like, ew, yucky. I can really see how ugly this game is. All right, so, oh no, okay. We got cures. We got cures for days. Oh, okay. All right, and we have enough magic to work
Случайно
out.
зашли в стену.
So we are going to
Никто ничего не видел, но мы зашли в стену.
Can you guess what it is?
A wolf?
Oh, yeah, dog?
Dog. So, sorry, please don't sue us, Disney. It's actually a lightsaber. And look at how much my attack goes up. This is actually a hidden weapon in the game. You need the silver sword to equip it. Yeah, it has about 80 attack power, and I'm good for weight. So we are zooming along, and we met Joe.
О, нашли новый мечик.
We beat CGDQ in one incentive. I love you all. And we are going to do some shopping, so you have time for a donation, Patty.
Продолжаем дальше качать статы.
Oh, I love when you say that. Mr. P.R. Miller donates $200.
Nice. So P.R. Miller is a self-professed Hydlide fanboy, no joke.
That sounds awful,
I mean, at least
but
one of them.
good, that's good. There is a rumor that if you don't get a PB, Jim the Knight joins Smash Ultimate next year. No pressure, and good luck.
Let's see. I'm just double-checking rations of food. Oh, yeah, we got plenty.
Can you imagine a Smash character who moves at a different frame rate than all the other characters?
Alright, so we're gonna get a bunch of herbs from a guard. It's kind of interesting. You can get 15 herbs from this guard, but normally you can only buy 10. The bundles of herbs are important because they restore magic, and magic is very important for this run. Also, that is actually the prompt you get when you haven't triggered like the proper text for talking to an NPC. And we're
Как пройти через
gonna
стражника?
Heavenly City, really important.
Просто говорить с ним.
I wonder
Поэтому
why I was chosen to be
самому
the
надоест, он тебя пропустит.
What wisdom? I wonder why I was chosen to play this game, but you know what? Somehow people let me play this game for Awful Block.
It's a relatable mood, Mike.
It is.
Yeah,
For real.
totally.
So the king of the Water Palace must have lost a bet with the king of the Heavenly Palace, because that is the only way to access the Water Palace until you get the
Опять гличуем и уехали отсюда.
slowly fall down a beautiful pirouette. We're gonna get a lot of quest items in this.
Даже ходьбой нельзя
Not the
назвать.
least of which is the first one.
Это не
I
полет.
got the Sega crew here. It's all good. They like this game too. You gotta rep the Sega. I got, Liz Star, the Queen of Genesis, and, Faust, and Cypherin, and we have the Sega pack. So, very important item. We gotta use it right away. So, you have got some Sega products. It's a joke! So, this game has items that are solely in there to troll you, and they're completely useless, and they are jokes. And the Japanese version says, ha ha ha, it's a joke. So the king likes eccentric things, so we give him the dragon's fang so he can raid his treasure room.
It's funny because this game is a joke.
It really is. So we have the stone. Oh, we're moving a bit more slowly. Okay, let's check it out. Oh, wow, it's 10,000 weight. Okay, well, let's check it. It's heavy!
Oh. Yeah?
It's a joke! And so for those who are wondering how slowest speed works,
It's a joke.
Really get to see the scenery of this game. All its beautiful browns and yellows.
Whoa, it's virtual Hydlide mode.
So even if you're not encumbered, this is how fast you move on slowest. So that's why there's no slowest percent, because we would be behind another 3 hours. It says Jim Scroll. That is actually Jim Scroll. It's a mistranslation from the Japanese. But that's because Jim, or Jimothy Esquire III, as I like to call him, is the hero of the original.
Облутали весь замок. Никто чуть заметил.
The cracked skin has healed. It's a joke! Hey, skincare, no joke game. Also, that is actually the Nivea cream.
Как же не отвлекает этим джоком.
You're welcome, Nivea, for giving you the free plug.
Да.
Although maybe they're not so welcome because I'm playing.
За год, ой, через год после этой игры появляется самая большая игра и самая большая студия. А мы смотрим на это.
And we have the brush. Your smelly feet has been cured. It's a joke! I'm sorry if the room was a bit smelly. I've used the brush. I'm not smelly anymore. So we're gonna get 2 more levels here? Oh, we don't speak of the Smash Room.
It's a joke.
Got a donation from SSF for $2 million.
Second grind.
Just kidding. It's a $101.
All refreshed. My body feels re-energized. It's going to be a great day. Isn't it a great day, everyone?
Maybe.
4:30 a.m. Game Prime Gamer O'Clock.
I'm crying.
Это самый приятный день, который может быть. Именно в этом. Именно сегодня мы должны добить $1 миллион. Я просто смотрю на игры, которые будут. И смотрю, как постепенно уменьшается онлайн на оригинале. Смотрю на то, что происходит на экране. И понимаю, что сегодня что-то будет.
I could take at least 4 hits.
You know, when I
but those 4 hits happen in a quarter second, so it's not really that.
Нет, Барби даже я сам лично посмотрю.
It's fine.
When I think of a deadly dungeon filled with a bunch of monsters, I think smooth elevator jazz music.
Yep. Oh, did I actually? No, I did not. That's good.
Whoa, Star Wars really changed.
Yeah. So so I'm encumbered because bronze shield drops. The bronze shield drops from these enemies are random. You can kill 10 and
была
get
не такая уж
5 or
плохая.
6. And you can tell you're encumbered not just from moving more slowly, you
еще
turn
раз
more
её
slowly
посмотрю.
because maximum realistic physics of time and weights. Now is also probably a good time to go over the classes. So basically, the warrior is not so great because it's in balanced all-rounder class, but it doesn't get the experience bonus that the monk does, and it doesn't really get as much as the monk does in the long run. The thief is a really bad class. It looks good because it has like high strength and high health to start off with, but you get no spells. Like I would not even be able. I'd maybe be able to cast 1 spell and not even the move spell if I was playing the thief and I was this level right now. And also, I would actually be too stupid to push the grave that took me to the dragon. That's actually an intelligence check, and the thief is really dumb because you have to be smart enough to push a grave. The priest gets the bonuses that the monk gets, and also the half XP for the spells, the first tier. But its physical stats are so weak that it's
Сейчас мы
not
фармим
really as strong as the monk.
так левелы деньги, чтобы
I'm at least at 10.
взять клон-спелл.
Yes, you are at 10.
Oh, I'm actually at 10. Okay. And you have time for some donations, because I'm going to be here for a while.
You got it. We've got a donation from Royal Blue Wizard for 25 smackaroonies.
Nice.
Super Hydlide is definitely the best Hydlide. Good luck to Mike and his sing-along. Oh, and the game he's playing too. Shout out to Awful Block, the best block, and everyone who runs Kuso. Especially
So
you,
what's worse
Mike,
than
Liz,
getting
and
hit by
Off and
2
everyone I
enemies?
missed.
So one enemy is 2 enemies at once. That drains your health twice as fast. And let's see. Okay. And go ahead with the donations, because we're going to be here for a while.
Oh, you got it. I don't know if you heard me before, but we got a donation from SSF for $2 million.
Время для донатов
It's for $101.
в разы больше, чем для самой игры, потому что мы минут по 15 фармим на локации.
We've got a $500 donation from Clades. Woo! I had to donate during the worst, best. I had to donate during my favorite GDQ block. My parents both survived cancer due to early detection, so I'm happy to throw some money at the cause. Donation goes to playing Mega Man DOS in the correct mode. Shout out to anyone watching from Catgirl Bargains. They know who they are. Thanks, Clades.
Y'all have bad taste.
But that's why we love you.
It's not like we don't.
Exactly.
Got $100 from her doctor.
А мы еще продолжаем фармить, вы не заметили?
His best block.
Поменялось время, но мы фармим.
Let's get some cheers for that. Come on, it's awful block.
Я футблок лучше был. Просто понятно
Oh, wow.
и практично.
I have enough
На
experience.
самом деле это
It's
так
actually a
есть.
super good grind.
Я как раннер блоков
So we
могу
have
это
enough
сказать.
experience to get 3 levels, which takes us to level 11. And our health gain to this run has actually been pretty good so far, so that is a fortunate thing. Health actually ends up being your most important stat for the end game, simply because of the final boss, which I'll explain once I get to the final boss. And now we're doing another
Скоро мы
challenge, just stock
без
up on
меча можем
supplies. As you can see,
драться,
as
просто
many
бить палками
healing supplies as possible,
или
with the time
кулаками.
spell to make sure the shops are open, 'cause with
Или
the
кто
realistic
это?
physics of
Но это
time
точно не
waits,
люди.
shops close at night.
Как плохо нарисовал.
This song is called Omise. It means store in Japanese. And the menuing is instant and cumbersome because you can only buy one at a time. You have time for one more donation.
Excellent. We have a $100 donation from the Axeman. Big thanks to Mike for introducing me to Super Hydlide. Is one of the most interesting and high-quality games I've ever tested. It's a joke!
I love it. So we're going to do a mini grind here. We're only going to go to 6,000 experience here. And then we're going to go through the rest of the dungeon and collect the spacesuit and space compass. And don't worry about it.
Эта игра чем-то напоминает
We
ДНД.
are on actually somewhat tight time constraints
Вряд ли.
because it is actually we only have so much time to go through the dungeon like this. So we want to get a fast grind, which is actually happening pretty well so far. Those turrets are pretty dangerous, but fortunately what's nice about this grind is that you consistently get these defenders, which give you 105 experience.
Вы представляете, этой игрой еще кто-то вдохновлялся, чтобы делать свои игры.
And they are quicker to kill and not as deadly as the turrets.
Возможно, она интересна в плане прохождения, но в плане спидрана.
Also worth noting that there is a limit of 4 enemies on the screen at once, so you don't really want enemies in the bottom right corner because it means you can't hit them. But as long as you have at least only one down there, and wow, I'm getting really good spawns. Actually. Alright, so oh, hello, video game. Thank you for the bronze shields. And you have time to read at least one more donation.
You got it. We got a $20 donation from, and I'm probably gonna mess this up.
Возможно, еще минут 20 фарма будет.
They say,
Возможно,
"Hi, GDQ, I'm
15.
watching this in
Но мы еще даже
live
клон
for the
спел
first
не получили,
time,
который
just
нам
because
нужен.
this super game, Super Hydlide, it's a joke! Shout outs to Mike for running this for a good cause. Greetings
Joke!
from South Korea. Hello.
Oh, nice. I like it. Alright, so once we get to 6,000 experience, which we have, we're going to go through the rest of the dungeon. There's some important items we do
Игры,
want to
эстимейту игры час.
And we're mostly going to do it in the fast speed because, as I said, fastest is the fastest way to move, but fast
Мы
does have
должны
the
убить
equal
дракона.
amount of DPS because it's two
Чтобы убить дракона, нам нужен клон спел.
We have to use it right away, and it will save you from the heat.
Ну,
It's a joke!
клон спел стоит 1030 вроде.
So if you're wondering about sun oil, because you'd be like, wouldn't real sun oil just be like, it burns? Well, the truth is that it.
Так что у нас есть еще время посмотреть на нее.
Sun oil is
Это
Dunkin' lotion, and it's just a direct translation from the Japanese. you have time for another donation as I'm traveling through this dungeon.
I love when you tell me that. Nemo donates $50. Just wanted to give a big thank you to everyone. The runners, the staff, the audience, the animals harmed during the Animorphs run. Everyone. You all make this event something I look forward to time and time again. Awful Block, hype.
All right, so you can disable these lasers, and they don't kill you, although that defender will. But it takes too long to disable the lasers, so we just don't mess with him. Yeah, this game is not for people prone with weak hearts. This is a game that steals yourself against all sorts of danger. And now we're gonna get the spacesuit, which is actually a pretty good suit of armor. It gives us 40 armor class, if I remember correctly. So it lets us take another hit or two, which doesn't really make much difference because that's like another frame or two of damage that we can take. It's all good. It's all good. And now we're going to try to get the space compass in this. Next.
What's your definition of good?
It's kind of messed up after all the bad games I played with this, because I actually legitimately like this game. It's really weird and janky and not good and really cheap.
Мару, поверь. У тебя, возможно, игра даже двигалась. Просто мы стояли минут 5 на одном месте и фармили.
Oh, in the chest there's nothing.
Происходил фарм.
There appears to be something inside. So that is the game's very poor way of telling you that you have not triggered the space compass. To trigger the space compass, you actually have to go to a computer console on the opposite side of this floor and observe it twice so you can know about the lore of the previous denizens of Fairyland.
Мы дошли до тех мобов, которые дают нам по $1000 за их убийство.
16.
Okay.
Не всегда. Ладно.
Okay, I have to be very aware of my magic at this point, because again, I need to be able to cast a move spell and disarm the chest. And if I'm not able to do that, I'm actually really screwed here. Because if you cannot disarm a chest, you never get to what's inside the chest. And as you can see, I've actually traveled a long ways into this dungeon to get the space compass. And so Kizaran,
yes,
I do have this review of the game. This game was actually made a list way back in 2004 of the 30 best RPGs ever. The list had no Super Nintendo RPGs. There were no.
Мы нашли банку, он нам много чего рассказывал, но мы все это скипнули, это не нужно. Вообще не нужно.
And tactics, I think the author said.
Right. God.
And so, did you want to read the first paragraph of the review?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So, oddly, when I posted this at number 27, I thought this would throw out all my credibility. But I love this game. Instead, I was greeted by a ton of letters from people who loved this game, people who were rabid fans of the first Hydlide, and even people who went out and tried SH from my comments and came back saying, wow, it is good.
So that treasure chest is booby trapped now that you
Сейчас довольно забавный донат пришел. Я люблю эту игру. Я не понимаю людей, которые не любят эту игру. Эта игра прекрасна. Наслаждайтесь ей.
Yep, that is true. And we're going to go to the shop again to stock up. So, do you also want to read the last paragraph of that interview, Kizaran?
Sure thing, if I can get unbanned.
Well, not the last paragraph, but the last paragraph I've highlighted.
Nope, not that one.
Is it?
It's a ways in. It's about a 7-page review, and it was so cursed that I had to print each page one at a time.
How many pages is this?
He writes a love letter about Super Hydlide and its realistic physics and time of waits.
Does it start with?
Did you actually highlight it?
Yeah, I'm curious.
Запишите в списочек эту игру, чтобы пройти. Она проходится быстро. Если учитывая, если убрать из нее фарм.
Okay, let me check the rations of food.
All right, I'm getting banned again, I guess, because I can't find a paragraph you want me to. Is it the look at all these things thing?
Should be.
А мы почти дофармили
I suck at
полную полосочку хп.
That's it. It's the look at all these things.
Very good.
Гайд на игру.
Look at all these things gamers
Ладно, он не помог.
revel in nowadays. A very hard game that forces you to think and scrimp and decide what you really needed to survive.
I'm going to pause you for a second because we're actually going into space. And as everyone knows, it's anti-gravity, so you fall into space.
Right.
Anyway, go on.
All right. There's one more sentence, and it is, it was Morrowind before there was Morrowind.
Завязали космический компас, который нас приведет к новой точке фарма.
Yes! Hey, it has a weight system. There's a day-night cycle. You have to sleep. No. You have to eat. Oh, by the way, so space is actually not random. We don't technically need the space compass. And anyone who says space is infinitely big, like all those scientists do, are very vast, it's actually a 32 by 32 grid. The spaceship, ironically, is in the lower right corner. What is randomized is the position you enter in. It is a 7 by 7 grid in the center, and you can land in any one of those squares. Because super Hydlide. And we are doing our third and last grind. And speaking of grind, this is actually the
мы идем дальше. Пропускай все.
First off, this was originally a Japanese PC game, and you didn't get the coin trick in those versions. Then they made Super Hydlide, and then they released it to America, and then they were like, I don't think Americans want to grind as much. So they halved all of the experience requirements for the American version, which means if I were playing this on the Japanese version, I would spend at least like an extra 10 or 15 minutes like just grinding for levels.
As an American, they're right.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm killing this race of space penguins because they're a good enemy. In fact, my morality, here, let's look at it. It is a 0. The MF, my moral fiber, is a 0. I am not a very moral hero because I have been killing all the good enemies along with all the bad enemies. Now, there are two things I do need to do in the ship. I need to get the horn. And we want to kill the geysers and
потихоньку движемся к нашей цели. Так, не умирай. Не надо.
The geysers are good to kill because they give a lot of experience. Those purple knights, the garbas, are not really good experience.
Это может быть,
so you don't
может
want
плохо
them, but you do
закончиться.
want to get rid of them if they're taking up the screen. And let's see. And Tresh's there's horn. So the horn lets us get to the city of illusion, which is in the first dimension.
Нам ничего нужного не падает.
And you have time for some more donations, Patty, because I'm basically just grinding some more here.
Awesome. We've got a donation from Macaw, 45.
Ooh, I like it.
$15.
The Spicy Games champion finds a good point in every bad game, and this is a game he really loves.
He says, Mike, don't die 3 steps away from the inn, please. Hydlide is the king of games.
So, interesting fact, Hydlide is actually pretty well regarded among Japanese gamers, or at least Japanese retro gamers, and it's all a matter of timing. It came out in 1990.
Минут 15, как сказал ранее.
Japanese PC versions, like which are on Japanese PC, such as PC 98, the MSX, and
Мы должны вложиться в Steam.
It came out in 1987, so it's very revolutionary for its time. It is worth noting that Hideki Kamiya, the director of Bayonetta and the original Devil May Cry, says that this is one of his favorite games because it was such a hardcore game, which is honestly not wrong.
Мы прилетели на космическую базу, чтобы фармить.
And this was actually a best-selling Japanese PC game back in like the late 1980s. Also, the original Hydlide is well regarded of all games because it came out in 1984, so it's considered revolutionary back in the day. Oh, I actually have plenty of experience, so let us move to the subterranean city.
Mike, I've got a donation here from someone who actually gets it. Old Hoovian donates $25 and says, this is a $2,500 donation, but with realistic time and weight, it only comes out to about 25. It's a joke!
I love it. So we're going back to the Cave of the Dead to get the Time Door Talisman, which lets us get in the first dimension.
Идем убивать дракона вслепую.
So Kizarn, what are your thoughts on this game so far?
Your space is better than my space.
Okay, so
you got to do stuff.
We have an important item, the stick. We need to use it.
Это второй дракон.
May the divine presence be with you. It's a joke! And that is the final joke item in the game. We have completed joke percent. Woo! Yeah, joke!
Остался финальный джок в этой игре. Что? Мне не показалось?
cards are not, that's a joke too.
So we have to use the time
Или
door
мне уже плавить
talisman.
нечего?
Now we will return to the subterranean city.
Ну, я же правильно все перевел.
There's still plenty of jokes here if you'd like to hear some.
And what's interesting about the stick, it's not actually a stick in the Japanese version. It's actually a Narita no Omamori, which is like a talisman in Japanese. Narita being a very famous city for having an airport and temple in Japan. We're going to use the illusion spell to just get that guy off us. And, you know, the talismans are used for all sorts of things like good luck, financial wealth, good grades and stuff like that. And, okay, we're starving. It's okay, it's okay.
Пожалуйста, не умирай.
We're starving.
Не совершай ошибок.
I actually don't have a ration of food.
Все нормально.
Okay, but we can still cure ourselves. Not a joke.
Филок у тебя еще много.
Alright, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna zoom to the end.
И главное, не ошибайся.
I mean, when I'm hungry, it does feel like this.
It does. Okay, we got to the end. Okay. I was one ration short, but I will be buying more
Ссылки закончились.
In the shop.
Начинаем по новой закупаться.
Actually, do a quick check of items, and you can. We're gonna get the holy water, which lets us unlock the second to last dungeon in the game. And I'm just checking my items right now. Yeah, we're good. So feel free to read a donation.
You got it. We've got a 25 smackaroonie donation from Angela147. Mike, we're awake in DC. Happy to be able to support a great cause. Who even needs an alarm clock to wake them up? And we have your amazing singing voice paired with this gaming classic. Good luck to you and the rest of the runners.
We don't need the space compass anymore because we're not going to space. And thank you, Angela.
What?
I appreciate it.
This game sucks.
I agree.
Okay, so our health is actually very high.
Где-то мы отстаем. Где-то мы не дофармили. Либо перефармили.
Right about now. We're gonna set the speed to fast because we don't want to be
Вроде из
right away.
рандома у нас все было хорошо.
And it's another dark cave, so you can. But this time it's a little easier because of the cat's eye, which acts as a flash spell. The flash spell is second tier spells.
Right, это не тот вариант. У нас другая категория.
Treasure chest is very bad if you don't disarm it because it will trigger a silent spell.
Мы
and
джолки
I
ловим.
really need spells here. And let's use the ration of food, and that should be enough weight to be unencumbered. Cool. And we get the song Dragon again, the best.
О, новая локация, новый фарм.
Power metal. And we're just gonna try to navigate through this dungeon and not
Мы
get
делаем дракону.
murdered because this is this is
Mike, please.
this is
Ой-ой-ой-ой-ой.
survival horror before there was survival horror.
Не надо. Меньше ошибок.
How many butt clenches or heart attacks are we at NPC?
21.
Okay, that's actually pretty good. This is actually really good RNG for
You're doing great.
I mean, I've had more, but, you're
Okay, there's 22.
22.
Oh, no, 23. Oh no, it's okay. So that enemy is a half tile below me, and that's why I couldn't hit it.
Please.
Это было очень близко. Учитывая, на какой скорости он играет.
Skeleton is in the worst spot. I have to come out. Okay, we're good. Oh, okay.
I crushed my breakfast. You're freaking me out that much.
So this song actually has a really.
Он слишком много в ней переиграл. Он уже даже без скрипта это может делать.
We're running behind, but we set the speed to slowest for Viralis, so we can beat him fast. And wait low. Okay, I did it a little bit. So we are now good to beat up Viralis, and it's a really strategic fight of just getting him point blank and hitting him in the face. He has 400 health,
финальный
200
босс.
magic points.
What a big boy.
Will heal himself at 100 health,
Mike,
but you can bypass that. Whatever, it's fine. I have at least 2 health. I can see up.
Хилится, не, все нормально. Не так справлюсь.
I have at least 1 spare hit. Yeah, he's dead.
Кто посчитал количество стадий у босса?
I'm not clapping for you.
Wow, and I wasted all those claps and animorphs. I don't know, Keys. And I was the one who actually supported you. What is this, Keyzeron? I thought we were doing a commentary exchange program, know a little bit more about our games, but you're just insulting me.
I'm clapping.
Hurt my feelings, Keys.
I'm still banned.
Fair.
Чё?
So we're not a very good Jedi because we're about to sell our
Не может
lightsaber.
быть.
The lightsaber is actually useless against the final boss because it's not a ranged weapon, and you need a ranged weapon for the final boss. And so we're just restocking here. We're gonna get a ton of rations of food because the final dungeon is very long and very difficult. Like if you
Когда
have
это всё
enough points
закончится?
already, well, we're gonna be keeping it tight.
Oh boy.
Плохие игры должны быть веселыми.
And you have time for a donation or two.
You got it. Nikasor donates
А очень
$100.
плохие вызывать наслаждение.
Says, "It's
Эта
me.
игра не вызывает
The coins
ни
you
веселья, ни
won.
наслаждения.
Why did you abandon me?
Она
I
вызывает
saw you
только
got lucky
стадию
with the other
фарма.
coins. I should have known all along you
Нужно
wouldn't
позже. Нужно построить декорацию.
It's a joke.
So I have the Fairy Maid mail, what I also like to call the Mail of Fairy Maid because of the translation of this game. And it has the best armor that we can afford. And let me see. Yep, we got the life water. We have plenty of rations of food. I think we're good to go to the City of Illusion. So we're going to take a slight detour here because we need the exit door talisman to be able to exit this dungeon. So the game can soft lock you into right-of-ways, but it won't let you save in the final dungeon, so you don't soft lock yourself. So we're gonna talk to this guy. If you have the idol statue of Viralis, you should be able to enter the Door of Time. The Door of Time
Надеюсь,
is
что эта
located
игра
to the
одна
northeast of this city.
большая
To go in, there is no way
шутка.
out, unless you have this talisman. Here, you can have this talisman. I no longer
Прям
have any
очень
use for it.
большая шутка.
If you have the talisman, you can return through the Door of Time. No human has ever seen the Kaizak. A fairy and I went through the Door of Time together, but I think the fairy was captured by the Kaizak. See, Hydlide and Virtual Hydlide only had Viralis. We beat him, and now we're fighting the Kaizak, not just any final boss. Kaizak's weakness? Try to understand his movements. Actual good advice. The rest is up to you. Are you the chosen one? Well, I killed an entire race of space penguins, which are fighting for the greater good. I sold my lightsaber, and my morality, if it could go in the negatives, would be around -12. So I'm not a good chosen one, but I'm the one Awful Block deserves. You've been a great audience so far, and we're going to the final dungeon, which is very long and very dangerous. And I'm checking my items just to be extra safe. And we should be good to
Через
go.
минуту
I think
будет
I
финальный
actually
данж,
forgot
как
to
сказал
grab
раннер.
my flaming sword, though. Yes, I
Я
did.
надеюсь,
I was role-playing the monk for a
что
bit,
это
being
не
unarmed.
шутка. Это будет реальностью. Это скоро
All I can say is,
и не будет опять фарма.
All I can say is,
Потому что много фарма. Это...
this has been the worst run I've seen. It's a joke. This is great. You're doing amazing.
Thank you.
О,
Oh no. Oh
Please
no.
no.
Okay, so
Except
it
for all
says
that.
it needs to be midnight, but actually just needs to be
Не
night.
умирай.
Statue of Viralis to get into the final dungeon. And here's the final dungeon, which I love this game's soundtrack, but this one's a little high-pitched. Just a
I
little.
hate this.
финальная локация.
Oh no. Already good start. So it's not really worth killing enemies in this dungeon because you're not going to get experience because we're not going to go back. To actually exit this dungeon, you cannot use the move spell. You actually have to go back to the very beginning where I entered. And then use the exit door talisman. We're not going to do that. The reason why we collect the exit door talisman is so we can use the camping gear. Camping gear normally costs about 200K, which is pretty much more money than we got throughout the entire game. So you normally can't afford it, but there is one in this dungeon, and we're going to use that as a marathon safety. And also, if it looks like I'm going a bit slowly through this area, you know, with the bottomless pits and the dangerous-looking dark, you know, no rails and stuff because it's not OSHA compliant, yeah, those are bottomless pits, and the Cloudstone won't save you at this point. So you will just immediately game over. So that's why I'm
новых
taking my
играх
time a little bit here to just make sure I don't
мало
die
геймплея.
falling
В
off,
этих играх прям много
falling off
геймплея.
here.
По 15 минут фармим.
By the way, I do want to
На
give some
минуту
shout-outs. I did
закупим
give a bit
хилок
before, but
и снова
Prosentia,
15 минут фармим.
helped figure out
Этим
the
двоим.
tech palace grind for this game and just been a good positive influence for the Awful Block in general. It's unfortunate that he couldn't make it to this marathon, so I'd just like to give him a big shout for just being a great presence for the Awful Block and the Custo Grande community in general. There's also the Axeman, who actually was inspired to help me by this game because I ran an RPG Limit Break and he really liked the game. And he was the one who helped figure out space and everything. Really helpful presence and helped me reroute the game. The record used to be a 42-31, and then I was able to push it down to a 36.
В Ведьмаке есть история. Там есть разнообразие квестов.
And he also figured out the damage formula, which is how I know how I'm butt clenching, but it doesn't matter because I'm gonna butt clench anyway. So, let's see. So we talked to the fairy. The fairy is the only way you can see Kaisak. It is your eyes. Okay. So that's Zod, as you can see in the bottom right corner. Little angry about Superman 2. You know, in that two-dimensional prison. This is actually the two-dimensional prison that
Типа я понимаю геймплей в Думе. Там история, которая написана в одном текстовом документе, который лежит в папке с игрой. Там есть геймплей. Тут есть вроде история, которая также написана одной строчкой.
Moz donates $500. Thank you for the awesome event. Let's beat cancer. Let's beat it. Tactical sausage with $20. This is a good one. What sound does a frog make? It's a croak!
There's a fairy.
Like that joke.
Thank you for saving me. Now let's go at Kaisak. I will become your eyes. So
get the camping
here's the fairy. You've cruelly plucked out its eyes just so you can see Kaisak. Being a low morality hero, just not a very good person. But
14 левел на фарме.
And we're gonna do one more thing before we actually go to the final boss, which is get the camping gear. This is technically not necessary, but I want to get this because I want to be able to save before Kaisak. Because dying Kaisak with the camping gear, you maybe lose 30 to 40 seconds if you fail Kaisak. Dying without the camping gear, I have to do this entire dungeon all over again, and it is over 5 minutes. I have to approach this treasure chest from the top. It is actually, there's actually a trap tile to the left of it. If I touch that, it will actually teleport me to earlier in the dungeon. So we're gonna open up
нормальный.
camping gear.
Флот есть на Ейсе. Нормальный, но очень мемный флблок был на русском марафоне, в котором я участвовал. Я показывал, что такое флблок и насколько он может быть ужасным.
Oh no, it's not. Still pissed about Superman 2. And let's see. So, Kizran, we're actually getting into the end stretch of the game. So, what are your thoughts on this game?
Но там игры мои длились минут по 5. Тут она длится час, из них минут 30 мы фармим.
It's a video game. It is a video game. I actually really like this game. It's very action-packed. There's no downtime. Really gets your adrenaline pumping. Because it's always exciting. So how many butt clenches are we at NPC?
28.
That's actually a shockingly low number. I was expecting more like 40 or 50.
Well, I can change the number if you want me to.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I will still donate $10 per butt clench. It's all good for this donation drive. And ow. Okay, and we're about to fight the final boss. The final boss takes a lot of explanation. I'm not really gonna have time to explain it. Basically, you have to pop its pimples, shoot it in the mouth so it's not shooting fireballs at you. Oh, thank you, Zod.
Теперь вот такое не выходит.
Where's the strong? Oh,
Уже
no, I have strong medicine. Good. And we're gonna use the illusion spell to get this enemy away from me. And, okay, we're good. So we are going to use the camping gear to set a save point. Where is the camping gear? There it is.
Есть, конечно, WoW, но это MMORPG. Фарм туда встроен в историю. Тут нет даже квестов.
I'm going to check my life water, see it's attached. We are good to go. And we're going to change speed to fastest because that is the best way to kill this boss. So are you all ready for Kaisak?
The Kaisak.
The Kaisak. I'm sorry, Liz. Gotta respect the lore. As the lore master of Super Hydlide, if you have the world record in this game, you can be the lore master, like me. Welcome, mortals. I am Kaisak, the Lord in Darkness.
Кто тыкает в камеру?
It is a pity you must die.
Не делай.
You can see me, but can you destroy me?
Пугаешь.
Let's see. So we gotta hit the mouth so it's not shooting at us. We gotta pop the pimples so we can actually kill this boss.
Hate it.
It's a blaster master boss.
Oh no, I hate it.
What is that?
It's Kaisak.
The Kaisak.
Oh yeah, the Kaisak.
Вот вам интересно, почему мы фармили? Когда босс по нам не ударяет.
Actually, you need to give a stomachache. Time will be
Yeah,
when my health starts dropping. It says I have acquired. Time.
Ура!
So I would love
Это
to show off the ending
свершилось.
of this game. Unfortunately, we're running way behind schedule. So this game actually has a very weird twist ending. Basically, Kaisak says, you know, I created this universe. You know, by mere mortal like me, I created this universe. The fairies, everything, fairyland, woo! And then he goes, but I made one mistake. I created you in my likeness. Only you were my antithesis. And which is basically the game is implying that Kaisak is God.
Я смог сидеть это.
And after that,
Мы фамили, потому что последний удар моба, когда мы нападаем на него, он наносит где-то 75% хп из всей полоски. Если у нас их меньше, нас ваншотнее в конце. Вот ради вот этого мы минут 40. Вопросы? Это игра против спидранеров.
Well, Mike, thank you for that. I guess we're gonna run a quick Twitch ad, and then we got an interview before our next awful game. Be right back.